Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Around the Kitchen with Steve. Right now it is apple picking season. So what are we going to do with all those apples we have at home? You have your traditional, just eating them because they're delicious. You could do an apple pie, some people do apple cider. I found a way to do a Ninja Foodi gluten-free apple crisp. Now you don't have to make it gluten-free. You can use regular non-gluten-free ingredients. I also made it dairy-free, because as many of you know, I don't do dairy, so I just used a butter substitute for this recipe. I'll have the full recipe on the description on our YouTube page attached to this video, so you'll be able to see exactly what the recipe is, either gluten and dairy-free, or just regular. But I want to go over real quick the ingredients we have, and then I'll explain the cooking process. I have 2.5 pounds of apples, sliced and the skin peeled off. I also have a sprinkle that's going to go on top of the apples, which consists of a half a cup of white sugar. I'm just checking my notes. Half a teaspoon of gluten-free all-purpose flour, which in this case, if you don't want to use the gluten-free flour, you can just use regular all-purpose flour. I got a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and then I have a crisp topping, which is a cup of gluten-free old-fashioned oats. You can just use regular old-fashioned oats, a cup of gluten-free all-purpose flour, or use regular flour, a cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, half a cup of butter softened. I used a butter substitute. And then what I did was I mixed it all together, and that's what's going to give us our crumb consistency. And our last ingredient is just going to be a half a cup of water. So I'll be right back showing you how we're going to put these ingredients in our machine and what settings and for how long to cook. And again, it doesn't have to be with this particular device. It can be any multi-purpose cooking device that has a bake setting, because this is not going to be air fried. It's not going to be pressure cooked. This is actually using the bake function of the device. So I'll see you guys in one quick second. All right, we have the 2.5 pounds of apples in our device, spread evenly as best we can to make sure everything cooks nice and even. Then we are going to add our combo of sugar, flour, cinnamon, and nutmeg. So that's going to go in there. And again, we're going to try and distribute that evenly as best we can. Some might get all over the place, and then you'll just have to clean it up. And then we are going to pour in our half a cup of water. Next, we are going to take our crumb mixture, which already has the butter substitute folded into it. So this is what it's going to look like before you put it in your device. And again, it looks nice and packed together and crumbly, and that's really what you're looking for. So we're going to put this next into the device. Our topping of the crumble has been added evenly and packed onto the apples. So what's great is that everything is all done in one shot in this recipe. You have your apples, you have your seasoning for your apples, and then you have your crumb top all in one. What we're going to do is we're going to close our device. We are going to set it to the bake function. We're going to set the temperature to 350. We are going to set the timer for 40 minutes. So this is definitely one of those set 'em and forget 'em recipes. So when we're done, it should come out all nice and yummy and tasty. And then I'll plate it, and then you can enjoy it with any of your favorite ice creams. See you in 40. Alrighty, just a few seconds left in our bake here. Just allow that to cool off and get to the done. There we go. We're gonna open the lid, see how things turned out. Oh, look at that, a nice golden color on top. Let's see, let me go grab. Oh, that is really warm.
I'm gonna put that in there. I wanna see, ooh, let's get into some better light. We're gonna look at that and see, oh, very well, very soft, nicely done, smooth, yummy apples, but looks like a very toasty top, and it's very, very hot. But again, we have those nice, lovely fall flavors in there. We have cinnamon, we have nutmeg, and who doesn't love apples picked at the orchard? Again, this recipe will be in the description to the video, along with a listing of books that if you like this recipe, we'll have tons of recipes you'll enjoy. And those books are available not only from our library, but libraries all around Westchester County. You can place requests for them over the phone, at the library, with your librarians, or via the web through the Westchester Library catalog. Those links will take you out to that catalog page where you can place your request electronically if you like. All you'll need is your library card number and PIN. I'm going to allow this to cool off, get a scoop of ice cream, enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Around the Kitchen with Steve.